Oh, never mind. Never mind. I was a little off there with that 1 minute post. Hi. Hi everybody. How are we doing? Let me get my camera on here. Hold on. Let me turn the volume up first off on the music. Got to have some ambience, right? Actually, let's turn it off just for the sake of, copyright stuff if these videos ever go up anywhere. But yeah, let's get a camera going. Hi. Hello. There you are. Here I am. How are you? How's everyone doing? Hi. Hi, Tila. WW. Hello, Hyper. Hello, Oscar. Good to see you again, my friend. Welcome to this amazing stream. Hillbilly Willie, thank you so much for the follow. Shadow, hello. How's it going? It's going great. It's going great. It's launch day. It's launch day, y'all. And as a dev, launch days are a mixed bag of emotions because you're launching a product for the first time. So, whew. But no, I'm amazing. I'm fantastic. Today is a amazing day. All of us at Studio Sirens are excited about this launch for Arc Aquatica, and we're excited for you guys, the fans, to be able to actually experience it, enjoy it, and we look forward to seeing your guys' streams. Some of our team will be watching you from the office as you live stream on Twitch or YouTube, wherever you prefer. So yeah. Go to the map, please. So we still have about an hour before launch of DLC. There is no early access, early look at the map. I'm not doing anything like that. I started the stream an hour early because I want to give you guys the chance and opportunity to come on into the stream, get yourself settled in. If you guys have any additional questions too, I figured a stream would be a great way to answer those questions to the best of my ability. If there are any questions that I do not have a solid answer for, I will just rightfully tell you so that I don't have an answer for you. So, let's get some questions in here. Let's see who's doing what. Anybody have any questions right off the rip? Who's excited for what? Oxy, we do not have any information regarding anything for consoles or other platforms regarding Aquatica. How many years of ARC experience do we have? I actually have about probably say less than a year. My experience with ARC started on console on Xbox One. I played it for a bit with friends, played it on and off. It wasn't a consistent run through, but I ended up just jumping to other games. So, do I know the download size? No, that would be something for programming engineering to answer. Water mutations. What about them? Oh boy, there's a lot. Thank you all for the follows, by the way. I do appreciate it. This is awesome. We could bring this map to mobile, don't you think? I don't know about that. There's a lot of water. A lot of water. Are there going to be trikes and stegos? Yes. Yes. Coma, welcome. It'd be awesome if you could help me answer questions in the chat, as I'm sure we're going to have a lot coming in. So, what are you guys excited to see? Appreciate you, boss. Matter of fact, here, let's go ahead and go ahead and just mod you real quick. Cool. Also, for the record, guys, moderation has been set pretty high for the bot here because, again, this is a family-friendly stream. We want to keep this friendly, family-oriented, especially with anybody of all different parts of the world. So please, you can voice your opinions. You can raise your concerns, but please do it in a respectful manner. Thank you. Family-friendly. Family-friendly. Yes. Exactly. Hey, Coma, I got a question for you. With this and starting to stream, what are the chances? Actually, hang on. Let me message you real quick. Let me message you. I was not about to ask if we could look at the map early, so no. By the way, guys, if you guys haven't joined the Discord, exclamation Discord in the chat. It's not working. Dang it. Never mind. I literally set up Nightbot like for the first time in years of putting my stream up, so ignore that. Oh, sweet. Okay. Hang on. Let me answer these questions. Do the weapons work underwater like the long neck and assault rifle? No, the long neck and the assault rifle do not work underwater. However, we do have some weapons that will work underwater. Some weapons that have been shown off in the trailer. One of them, if you've seen it, looks like a pretty cool sci-fi blaster rifle. Yeah, so we do have compatible weapons for underwater fighting, not just melee. One big issue are the mods. Will the old mods work with the update? Because most of the mods don't update. Oh, most of the modders, sorry, don't update their old mods because most are working on mods for Arc ASA. So anything regarding mods, if there's an issue with mods, breaking, anything like that, Studio Siren is going to do what they can and the best that they can to try to get those mods fixed. But we did post on Steam that mods will need an update after Aquatica. So any mod creators that are here, be sure to get your mods updated. So you can find the full details about that and the dev kit and everything on the discussion panel or the devlog in the Aquatica Steam page. Earlier, Dev hinted a Titan for the map. Was it the dragon in the trailer? Similar to, so, hi, I'm that Dev. No, it wasn't the dragon. So we do have Titan-like creatures that will be present in Aquatica. One of them that was also present in the pre-release trailer was the Riftwalker. Very large creature, spawns around the world. It's pretty cool, pretty scary looking. I think that one is going to be a lot of fun for players to interact with. Hello from Germany. Hello, welcome, welcome. What do I think about PvP and community arc? Or PvP community and arc. I'm awful at PvP. I'll be upfront. I am terrible. Somebody in here said PvE bots. I'm literally one of those PvE bots. I enjoy single player PvE with friends, casual experiences. So judge me all you want, PvPers, but that's me. But what do I think about it as far as like the community? I think there's some crazy PvPers out there. I've watched plenty of ARC videos, plenty of PvP videos, and it's insane. A, what people build as far as bases go, and B, just the engagement from that. It's insane to me. I'm gonna answer a couple more questions, and then I've got some really cool stuff to show you guys. I know somebody asked earlier if they want to see the map. Technically, I can't show you the full map in game, but how would some in-game screenshots work for y'all of some of the areas in the map that you haven't seen, or maybe you got a little snippet of in the teaser? What do you guys want? What do you guys think? We like that? Show us things we haven't seen yet, please. Yeah, buddy. All right, cool. Let me answer a couple more questions. I'm gonna scroll to the top here, guys. Sorry, I'm gonna do my best here. Let's see. What was your job at developing Aquatica in detail? So my job in the team was a level designer. As level designers, and this kind of ties into Creoni's question. By the way, I'm sorry if I get any of your names, if I mispronounce any of them. I'm really bad with names, especially Twitch names, because there's some crazy ones out there. But no, I was a level designer. I am a level designer with Studio Sirens. My job as a level designer is to take kits, models, assets, textures, materials, lights, essentially everything that encompasses like props in the world terrain. Basically, level designers are the Bob Ross of game development. We paint happy trees, make happy little accidents, and really, really cool canvases. So, yeah, that's what we do. Just Aquatica is getting officials for this. And if there's any questions that I miss or oversee, Coma here is going to step in, so be sure to just keep an eye out for his replies if I don't get to your questions, okay? Any chance folks can transfer old characters into Aquatica? I assume that will not be possible. Coma, can you answer that one for him? Okay, cool. Already did. Are you guys going to ban the hack fast or leave them for 3 months playing 3? Coma, could you answer that question? I don't know for that one. That sounds like a programming thing. All right, cool. Was I lead dev? No, I'm not the lead dev. The lead dev is actually Coma. So he is our game design lead, and he's an awesome lead at that. The whole team is amazing, incredibly talented. We loved every second of working on this, and we poured our passion into this DLC. So, and hopefully you guys will see that. All right, give me 1 second here because I haven't published these yet. I've had them sitting and ready to go, but we're going to take a look at some really cool areas that I think you guys are really going to like. Some of these areas you have seen, but you haven't seen them to this depth. Some areas you haven't seen, so including a dungeon. We're going to take a gander. I have to go through individually because ArtStation makes you individually publish things, so there's no button to let you publish. Okay, that one's good. That one's good. 2 more. I'm gonna bring this up on this tab so I can see your guys' chat while I'm doing this. Did our dev team make any other big title? For Studio Sirens, this was our first official big title, Arc Aquatica. Is it going to be available for GeForce? Like, Matt, can you answer that one? Okay. You guys ready? Are we ready to see some stuff? I think you could see it up there on the top. All right, let's go take a look. So this is my ArtStation portfolio. It's got all my other goodies in here. But let's go. What do you want to look at first, guys? Do we want to look at the Abyss? Do we want to look at the Semithoa dungeon? Do we want to look at the Boiling Sea or the Shallows first? Which one do y'all want to see first? Hey, thank you for the follow, Miss Bird Gaming. Thank you also for all the other followers as well. You guys are absolutely incredible. Got dungeon, caves. Technically, the dungeon is a cave. Can we see the Titan? The Titan is available in the trailer. It will be shown off most likely in the release trailer as well. But yeah, no, when we actually launch the DLC, we'll definitely go take a look at it. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of dungeon. Caves, dungeon, see shallows. Okay, so we'll do dungeon first and we'll do the shallows. So this was a Semithoa dungeon. I know I said Semithoa earlier. Again, words are hard for me. So the Semithoa dungeon is one of the boss arenas that you will encounter as players in Aquatica. So here is one of the visibles for the dungeon entrance. The whole kind of concept for this design, I literally went to our lead because he had a block out. He had a layout for the framework, right? The pathways and things like that, or like the shell, if you will. And I just asked him, okay, what do you want this to look like? And he said one word. He said, make it gross. I was like, bet. So I made it gross. And we have this really, really cool, nasty, creepy, gooey, eerie aesthetic as you enter this dungeon. Uh, the boss will not just be the only thing you encounter and fight in this. There will be additional enemies and layers to this arena area, and it also won't be excluded, or it won't be secluded just to the boss arena itself. So you don't just spawn in and boom, right there's boss. Oh, sorry. I just dipped my finger in my yogurt. I was eating earlier before we started, and I thought I had more time. I was wrong. So, excuse me on that. But as you load up the obelisk to go to the Samathua dungeon, you actually will have the opportunity to be able to explore a bit more in this dungeon, in the arena, instead of just going straight to the boss. So if you want to get more of an environmental storytelling aspect from it and kind of get a better immersive feel, we made these dungeons in a way to allow for more player exploration. This is the pit that descends into the actual boss arena, and you'll notice something in the middle there. You'll notice what is that? What is that? It's like a that's a head, like a whale. That is in fact a very large whale. And inside the mouth of that whale is where you're gonna go fight the Samathua. Here we have another view from the bottom floor of the pit itself, showing the entrance. You go through the teeth. It's really fun, and you fight the Samathua on the tongue. Here we got another view of it. How are light levels underwater? Are they rather dark? No. So light levels are actually pretty well laid out and well designed throughout the underwater experience. So when you go through, you're not going to have, really, really dark environments with it. Everything's going to be well lit, things that will, you'll be able to see where you're going basically. So how big is it though? It's pretty big. It's a big boy. Those teeth are bigger than a T-Rex. Matter of fact, if I had to put in scale, so y'all see, it's kind of hard. If I had to, like, I don't have a cursor on, so I can't. You'll see though. You'll see. How about I fly to it and show y'all? And then this is going to be where you face the Samathua. So this is the interior of the mouth of the whale. This is where you are going to engage with the Samathua. You're going to fight it. You're going to bring all your dinos. You're probably going to die a lot. You're going to have a nice set of armor that is going to get one tapped off of you from this boss. It is absolutely horrifying. And that is the Samathua. If you guys would like to read any of the descriptions or anything like that, I will go ahead and post a link to that here. Next up was the Shallows. Shallows was probably one of my favorite areas next to the Samathua dungeon that I worked on. So the Shallows is going to be... How dark is the Abyss? I'm going to let Coma answer questions for now as I talk about each of these so I can keep things moving on for y'all. But anyway, like I was saying, the Shallows is going to be your starting area. This is where you are going to kind of essentially dip your toes, right? This is where you're going to get your feet wet. This is a very beginner-friendly area, but also with a ton of exploration aspect to it. And a lot of that exploration comes from just the aesthetic of the sunken city landscape that we've designed. Here's another great example. You notice there's a ton of very tight spaces that open to nice open areas that you can see above. You can see the surface. This area is very easy for players to be able to dive down to collect the required resources they need if they have an island base at the start, and then come right back up without actually using that much oxygen. As a beginning player, if you're starting off early as level 1, honestly, once you get to level 5, level 6, Coma, am I right about that? Level 5, level 6, and if you put just a couple points into your oxygen, as well as movement speed, because as you swim faster the higher your movement speed. We notice the visibility like this? Will it be like this in game 2? Yes, it will. Right now, what you're not seeing is the depth post-processing added on, but however, it is still going to be pretty clear as you see in this image here. Here we have another shot of it. We have a variety of different tiers, different levels for players to build their bases on, build their bases in, things like that. So the shallows is honestly, in my opinion, going to be a really cool place to see PvPers go in base build. I can just imagine just underwater city battles. It's going to be really, really cool. And then here, I do want to point out, if you see in the bottom of my screen, there's this blue plant. Can you guys see that? It's like a blue emissive plant. So we've incorporated ways for players to be able to survive longer underwater than needed by just, without needing to just use their oxygen rate. We've included, it's actually a plant. So this is our plant species W. This is going to be a oxygen plant. It allows players to go, and as you stand next to it, you replenish your oxygen as you swim around the map underwater. We've also incorporated other things such as air jars to allow players to refill them and use them as like a quick, breath of air, like an air tank, if you're nowhere near them. You can also interact with them too. They're pretty cool. This is probably one of my favorite shots. This is actually one of the openings and entrances into the sunken city of the shallows from the surface islands. You guys will find this spot. I think you guys will enjoy this. It's a blast. It's also, again, one of my favorite parts aesthetically to work on, just with all the hanging moss, the colors. It's bright, it's popping. It's just a fun spot overall. I really liked working on the shallows. We've got another view of it, again, showing off the different layers, the different levels for players to interact with and explore. Plenty of open space, of course, for you to swim around. Plenty of areas for you to avoid dinosaurs if need be. So, yeah. And then this shot is just outside of the shallows, actually, from that last one that I showed off there. This is one of the descents into the water. So, it's not going to be a straight drop off. You're actually going to come across these depth points and areas that just have a very slow descent into the water. So players can really take their time, absorb the environment, get a feel for their surroundings, as well as kind of understand what sort of resources are available to you when you go underwater. Because obviously we're not going to have like oak trees and, dry grass underwater. That doesn't make any sense, right? So this space in particular is a great way for you to get a feel and a better understanding for the let me just close that real quick. I had a meeting notification. Pop that off real quick. Let's see, was that the last one? Sweet. Awesome. And again, you can find this one in the page as well. I'll go ahead and still post a link to it. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna... Cool. All right, what do we want to see next? Do we want to see the abyss, or do we want to see the boiling sea next? How big is the map? It's huge. In a sense of depth and verticality, it's massive. Boiling sea, I have abyss. I got 2 for abyss. 1 boiling sea, abyss. Okay, cool. We'll check out the abyss first. So the abyss, this area, while the shallows was my favorite to work on, and the Samathawa dungeon was my favorite to work on, the abyss was also my favorite place to work on. I did a few things in the abyss. The main individual in our team who took responsibility for this was one of our other level designers. Did fantastic work. I think players are going to really appreciate and enjoy the color pattern here. So the abyss is going to be your end game, late game biome that you explore. You can essentially spawn near the abyss, I highly wouldn't recommend it though, unless you're one of those Iron Man challengers and you just want to go straight in. So this is one of the opening shots into the descent into the abyss. What do you guys notice about it? You want to know a really cool fact about the abyss? It's that the abyss you can run around in and breathe in. It's underwater, but it's not underwater for you to swim in. So yeah, the abyss is an area that is dry. Technically, there's dry dinosaurs down here. This is a really really fun place for players to explore. I think players are going to really enjoy this. We wanted to do this really cool neon Tron, almost upside down world from Stranger Things aesthetic with the abyss. Something that will just completely literally turn it into a 180 for players from what you're used to seeing in Aquatica. From the boiling sea, the shallows, a lot of bright colors and coral, things like that. You come down here, you're like, whoa, this is what? This isn't like the map up there. So, do nameless spawn in the abyss? Maybe they do. How big is the map? It's big. Gigabyte wise, I'm not sure gigabyte wise. Are there otters? There's otters, aren't there? Coma? Yes, there's otters. One of my one of the areas I worked on specifically was the river. So we went through multiple iterations through almost all of the biomes in this map. It was a constant process of just kind of isolating a core design that we all looked at and agreed on. Not saying we all disagreed on anything. It was just, it's an iterative process. You're always looking to find new ways to improve the area, and really set the scene for the aesthetic that we as a team drive for. And when we settled on this, it was just it was a rinse and repeat process for the polish at this point. But yeah, one of the areas that I worked on was this river. This neon bright blue missive river. This was actually a lot of fun, as well as some of the additional hanging foliage and vines and crystal work and lighting. We got a really fun POI that kind of cuts off from the river. This place is also going to be buildable, so you can put bases down here in the abyss if you want to. Um, yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys do with this. We're excited to see what you build and how you go about exploring Aquatica as a whole. Because again, there's so many layers to it, like a cake, literally. There are so many different nooks, crannies, swimming paths, caves. Um, there's so many unique environments and points of interest that we've included in Aquatica to give that feeling of sci-fi fantasy that Ark is known for, especially in our caves and especially in the way that we used tech design in this map. I think players are gonna not only appreciate that, but I think they're gonna be surprised, honestly. And we hope you guys are. This is an additional area. I just want to throw this in here because it was a nice little trench that I polished up and foliaged up. But these are some of the areas I was talking about where there's just so many different locations and just different nooks and crannies and pathways for players. So this right here is quite simply, it's just a trench in reality with some aesthetic detail. But there's also some like crazy foliage bits that we just decided, hey, we're just going to throw them in here. One being the giant, massive starfish back on the wall. That starfish is probably, how big would you say that starfish is? How many known caves? A lot. Like if you're counting the miscellaneous caves that could still be used for base building and everything, there are quite a few in this map. Yeah, we call it the Megastar. But yeah, he's huge. He's huge. He was fun. And then, of course, we just have additional POIs like these that players will come across as well to kind of help establish the story through the environment, right? Because not only are we using explorer notes like other Arc expansions in this for environmental storytelling and to pitch the narrative of and the canon of this expansion, but doing other smaller details like this, where you have a sunken ship, right? Or let's say you come across an abandoned cabin made of kelp and moss and twigs that has been run down for some time, and you try to understand and figure out the story of that. um, the explorer notes now offer a new aesthetic. So this was something that we had pitched in a meeting, and it was regarding environmental storytelling. So the explorer notes that you're familiar with, where you come across them, might be settled around a little rubble pile, and you open them up. Now we've taken that to an additional step. We've taken it to the next level with this, through set dressing. So what we did was we took the explorer notes and the portraits and the vistas that they're trying to capture through the visuals that they tell with it, as well as the descriptions, and we took advantage of that with Aquatica and placed them strategically in areas that would help match the visual as well as the story that note is being told, um, as well as doing set dressing. So let's say, for example, there's an explorer note about a campsite where a character is hunting and he hunts a specific type of fish in Aquatica, right? So instead of you just finding that note with a couple bones, you would find that note with the corpse of that same fish with a knife in it and a cooking pot, bones scattered around, a little bedroll that shows that they had been living there for a couple nights or so or camping out. Things like that to really help immerse players more into the story of Arc, into the story of Aquatica, uh, which I think as a team we did a fantastic job on, and I'm very excited to see your guys' reactions to that as well. All right, last one, the boiling sea. This one is dangerous. What time is the map coming out? The map comes out at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So this is the boiling sea. This was another area that I contributed to. The four areas that you see on my portfolio will be areas that I contributed to the most, or had a lot of emphasis in. This is one of the really cool vista shots that I like. Going back to environmental storytelling, right? Set dressing and creating points of interest for players to dive into, explore, and really make a story of your own, right? Because the whole point as designers, the whole point of developing and telling a story through a game's environment is to allow players such as yourself to be able to tell your own story, no matter how small the detail might be. So this is something that um, we really took pride on adding throughout the entire map. Um, and I hope you guys enjoy that as well. This area looks like you're going to get sulfur poisoning. No, but you will get sulfur poisoning in another area. I'll show that off whenever the DLC launches. Clearly, this area right off the wrap, I mean, to me, it screams danger, right? It's very hostile. A lot of very bright colors, oranges, reds, lava, dangerous air volumes, things like that, that players should avoid, right? So this area will not be, for your beginning player. But if you want to dive in, you can spawn in the boiling sea right off the rip. So that's up to you. Any PvP caves? Yes, there are PvP caves. Throughout the entire development cycle of Aquatica, we kept in mind PvE and PvP, both communities. And I feel like our team accomplished a really good balance of both, because at the end of the day, we don't want to favor or lean towards one side or the other. We want to find a way to be able to encompass everybody in the player base, right? Here we have another really cool vista shot. Another really cool vista shot. You also notice there's a lot of these floating rocks, floating islands. Those are areas that you can build bases on. So you can essentially build a base on a floating island or a castle with an indefinite moat to escape the danger that is within the boiling sea. And some of these islands are higher up. Towards more of the surface of the water. So yeah, you can kind of pick and choose. And each floating island also has resources as well. So you don't have to constantly go back. However, the islands will have some resources unavailable to them. So you will have to still go back down to the boiling sea to collect specific resources if you wish to build a base there. And here we have a really cool vista shot of the lava, overhanging bridge. Yeah, I mean, I had fun. This was another area that I worked on specifically, like this spot. Fun fact: this was actually one of the first spots that I worked on when I got hired on with the team. Really cool. It's really cool to see everything kind of come together in fruition now. And then, of course, we have one more shot. So, yeah, that is everything. Let me go ahead and post a link to that here. You guys can read the descriptions on it. It kind of goes a little bit more in depth of the development of the Boiling Sea, my thoughts on it, the team's thoughts, and just kind of final thoughts on it. So, yeah, what do we think? What did you guys think of that? Was that cool? Is there something like an island above the water? Yes. You will be able to spawn on starting islands. We actually have multiple starting islands for players to spawn on the surface. Excuse me, I'm going to take a bite real quick. I don't want you guys seeing that. I've had like half a breakfast today, so bear with me. What other questions do you guys have? Aquatica have skies? Yes, Aquatica does have skies. And Aquatica's got some clouds too. But you didn't hear that from me. Are the official PvP servers going to be regulated, staffed for cheaters? That would be a question for Coma. He's currently away right now, but when he comes back, if you see him in chat, just ask that again and tag him, and he'll be able to give you an answer. I have to say, the first real trailer doesn't look that great. Not bad, though, but the showcase pre-release stream really makes Aquatica shine. So there will be an official release trailer launching with the launch of Aquatica. I will post a link to that, and while we install the update on my end, do you guys want to watch the trailer together? I can kind of break it down. Or do we want to watch the pre-release trailer? And do we want to break down elements in the trailer while we wait? What sounds good? Both? You have clouds off? Dang it. There's some pretty cool clouds. Oh, 3 of the 4 links? Whoops. Here, I will just send the main link. This is going to have all 4 right off the bit. BPS farming, Coma. If Coma comes back, I ask about BPS farming. When he comes back, just tag him in it. What about blueprints? Do anything on that side regarding blueprints regarding what? Both. The underwater air pocket abyss. In the underwater air pocket abyss, is the sky considered a sky? Wow, I didn't even think about that. It's a great question. How do we get blueprints on Aquatica? Reach out to Coma when he comes back with that. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, for those who just or were not there or just joined, any questions that I don't have a genuine answer for or have knowledge of, I will refer you to someone who does, or I will just literally tell you I don't know, but I will find out. I'm trying to be as transparent with you guys as possible. I do apologize if that's not what you're wanting to hear, but hey, I can only do so much. Sorry, my dog was barking. Sorry about that, y'all. I had somebody at the door asking questions. All right, let's get back to it. I have a new friend with me, my friendly companion. Everybody say hi to Atlas. Atlas, come here. Come here. Here, no, come here. Let's sit. You sit. This has been my buddy for about 3 years now. My good putty, my good pal. Pick him up. I will not do that. I'm wearing a black shirt, so that will get a lot of hair. Okay. Let's go ahead and go watch this trailer from Jakari, because the release trailer is coming on launch for Aquatica. What do you guys think of Jakari's trailer? I do embrace that hair. Matter of fact, I embrace that hair all night with him because he sleeps with me. And I wake up and it's just whole side hair. It's insane. Also, a friendly reminder, too, if you guys haven't yet, there is a premiere going on for the Arc Aquatica official trailer for drop, so be sure to go hit that notification bell when it premieres. I'll go ahead and I will even share a link to that for everyone so you can go check it out. Coma, welcome back. There's a couple questions I didn't have answers to. If you could please, folks, if you're still here with those questions, go ahead and tag him with those and he can answer them to the best of his ability. Do I play Destiny 2? A little bit. Titan main since D1 beta. All I gotta say. All right. Oh my goodness. I will be right back. Getting another. All right. Apologies about that. If you can't tell, I'm kind of running back and forth doing quite a few things here. So, all right, let's get through this ad first. Hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you again for all the follows as well. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Hello, Kel. Kel here is another level designer for Aquatica. So if you guys have any questions for him on that matter as well, be sure to ask Kel. Phenomenal designer. He's also, he came to the team originally as a modder, working on one of his crazy mods as well. So yeah, Kel, if you want to talk about that a bit with him as well, go for it. All right, cool. Let's watch the trailer. If there's anything about the trailer as we go through it that you want me to stop at or talk about, please let me know. This is the teaser trailer, the old teaser trailer, not the official. Get my chair out. How many aquatic skin fishy looking dinos will be? I know about Rex and Yeti. Mud Puppy, yes, there will be Mud Puppies. Mud Puppies are awesome. If you haven't checked out the dossier info on that on stream, go check it out. It's all good if you restream bits of this. Yeah, absolutely. I'm totally fine with that. Go for it. The whole point of this stream is to not only celebrate the announcement and the launch of Aquatica, but also to, again, answer questions, right? Answer questions, provide some feedback, hear your guys' thoughts and opinions, share a little bit of additional features and details for Aquatica before it comes out. Let you guys see the map a little bit. The screenshots of the map, I mean. Okay, let's go through. Saw a little bit of the Abyss. Got some of the crystal caverns here. Crystal caverns created by our lead level designer. Absolutely phenomenal environment. Really fun exploration too. Am I from Sweden? No, I'm not from Sweden. Just read that all mods will break. You're kidding, right? Colma, you want to answer that one? Yeah. Sorry if you hear a weird rustling in the background. There's some construction going on right now. All right. Someone's no. No. Anywho, let's talk about some of the stuff in the trailer here. All right. Ooh, first one. So, we have a new structure set for players to play around with. We have a Pearl set now for you to build bases with. What do you want to know about Pearl? Is that your refrigerator making ice? Dude, that would be an insanely loud and obnoxious refrigerator, but also really cool at the same time if it was that loud. I'd actually be concerned. Looks like Pearl makes air pocket. It does not make air pockets inside. However, we do have a way for players to build bases underwater while still creating almost an air dome of their own in a way. We have this feature that's going to be included into it called a hydrosphere. So this is going to allow you to put farm plots, things like that, build bases, be able to walk on the surface. Again, it's almost like you have your own dome, your own arc dome for your base. I know we talked about earlier, somebody asked a question regarding the weapons. Will weapons work underwater, such as the long neck gun and the rifle? And no, but there are weapons included in this that are not just melee weapons, such as the trident. in the map that works underwater, but also we have weapons that work underwater. So these are Thalassian rifles. Essentially, they're laser rifles. They work underwater. That way, you still have abilities to engage in range combat if need be. Aquaman guns. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you got Aquaman guns. No, they're a lot of fun to use. At any time when I was playtesting this or anything, I always put a Thalassian rifle on my character. The aesthetic of the rifle looks really cool. It sounds cool. And it's just a really fun, unique tool. Bubble guns. I like bubble guns better, actually. I call it a bubble gun. This is also a fun feature. Let's talk about the monodons. You've seen it probably in other trailers. You've seen it in some photos and teasers. But the monodons actually can shoot from their tooth at the end of their head. The monodons can engage other mobs in Aquatica, so you can ride into battle on the monodon and shoot giant lasers out of the tooth. Are we going to get a better trank weapon for underwater, or will we still be using crossbow and harpoons? So the Thalassian rifle does allow you to use, um, it does allow you to use trank ammunition. So you will be able to craft tranquilizer ammunition for the Thalassian rifle and easily swap it out with your live ammunition in game. Stream in a few minutes. Oh yeah, we got 7 minutes. Shoot. No, hey, we totally understand the community's feedback and we are very receptive to everyone's responses regarding this DLC. We have been listening, okay? We have been listening and we have been hearing you. And like I stated in my posts, like I've stated in the Aquatica Discord, we we did we worked with what we had, right? And we are continuing to work with what we have, which is a 10-plus-year-old engine, right? An engine that is no longer receiving updates and things like that. So it's almost like working with sticks and stones. But to be fair, call it biased as much as you want. Our team took that and we made this. We made a DLC for Evolved and for fans. And like I stated in the Discord and like we've talked about in the Steam discussion pages for Aquatica, we're going to do the best we can to make sure that mods don't break, right? We're going to make sure that if there's any issues, we're going to hop in, we're going to fix them, do what we can to put it into a patch. I'm going to ask you, the community, if you encounter any game breaking bugs, if you encounter any crashes, if you encounter any issues with mods, please, please, please submit your report. Submit the ticket. All right. That feedback is important for us as developers to be able to go in, identify the problem, and then find a solution. So help us with that, if you will. Thank you. All right. We got about 5 minutes. Who wants to watch the reveal trailer? What other games does your company work on? Arc Aquatica is the first official game that Studio Sirens has worked on. All right. Boom. All right, here we go. I go ahead and post this in here. Got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes, y'all. Yeah, like Coma said, you heard it from him first. The game lead himself. Sirens is here to stay in the Arcverse. Thank you guys again for all the follows today. Thank you for all of the appreciation as well and all the questions. This has been amazing. We've got about 2 minutes, so if anybody has any other additional questions, by all means, please put them in the chat. Let's talk. I like questions. Questions are fun. While you're doing that, I'm going to open up my caffeine. I haven't had any caffeine today, which is crazy because usually I have caffeine first thing in the morning. Oh, it's good stuff. Can we have any info on what will be the first next thing you will do on Arc after Aquatica? Coma? You want to answer that one? Do we also know how many gigs the map will be, Coma? I don't know that one off the top of my head. Do you know if Snail Games will ever fix the instant crash sheet in Windows 10? I don't know. We have no knowledge of that at our studio in regards to Windows 10 or Xbox or anything like that. All right, y'all, 60 seconds. Does Siren still work on ASE after Aquatica? Don't know. As far as patches go, I would assume that we would have a week 1 patch, right? I would assume, right, Coma? We've been in talks about a week 1 patch. In the talks, right? What are you most excited for players to see? I'm excited for them to see the map. As a level designer, I'm excited for you guys to experience the world. I feel like this is unlike anything any player has seen in Arc Aquatic, or excuse me, in Arc. It's something that is unique to the game. It is going to be a very different, but also somewhat familiar experience for players. So cool. Yeah. So next thing after this, once we launch week 1 patch. Ooh, good question, Morthus. How do you think caves will match up against current caves, strength-wise for PvP? Is this going to be another AI trailer? No. Raging Dragon, it's not AI. Kidding. Here we go. All right, I'm going to keep this at a good volume. And then I'm going to go ahead and go on my recording screen for you guys. That way I'm not in the picture. You guys don't see my crazy face. So you get a full view of everything. And I'm also going to shut up. Okay? So you can see it all unfold in front of you. Will there be Noglins? Como, will there be Noglins? Yo, Reverence in the house? Let's go. How do I download more space to install 500 gigabytes of ASE? You delete Google Chrome. So are the caves going to be OP compared to vanilla caves? In a way. Some are. Some are. I think so, personally. I think it's all based off of opinion of the players and how you feel about them. But we do have a very large range of caves. Excuse me. Delete Genshin Impact. Yeah, delete all of those games you haven't touched in like 4 years that you always say you're going to go back and eventually play one day, but you don't have enough time to. That's how you do it. Are the dodos swimming on the map? Dodos are on the map. They're not swimming, but they are on the map. Been on the fence. Well, hopefully this release trailer, and I'm also going to be playing the expansion as well for people. So if you're very skeptical still after seeing the photos and this trailer, hang out. I will play it live for everyone to see. Coma, can you answer the Gen 1 or the oxygen question? We did talk about that a bit when we were looking through screenshots. I want dodos shooting rockets. Who hurt you? Why would you wish that evil upon people? That sounds absolutely menacing. Just, you're a new player. You're taking in this whole new world. You turn the corner and it's a gang of dodos. One's got an RPG. And it's for revenge. The question from Morthis regarding the oxygen. How does player oxygen work? Is it like Gen 1 Ocean? If you guys have any questions too, be sure to tag Coma in them as well, because he can get to those as well. We have multiple devs in here watching and commenting right now. Reach out to Coma or reach out to Kel, and they'll answer them to the best of their ability for you guys. 10 a.m. Pacific time is the available time to get it and install. Will there be events going on release? Yes, the event is to launch the game. I wish you a good release and a good start. Thank you, Lares. Thank you. We're very excited about this. How much will this map weigh? Ooh, good question. Are we talking like with or without the water? Because water does have a pretty solid weight to it. All right, here we go. 45 seconds. Here we go. Is this loud enough for you guys, or is it too loud? I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna turn off my recording screen for you. Everyone, this is Aquatica. How we feeling? How are we feeling? Goes down just a smidge. Looks fine. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty good compared to the last trailer, right? Shall we play it? I think we should play it. Ah. Oh. Probably helps if I update. Derp. Probably helps if I update. Go ahead and refresh your Steam page. Completely close out of it. Close it out of the task manager. If you guys are having issues with that, go and refresh your Steam, open it back up, and you'll see it. And now we enter the next phase of this stream, ladies and gentlemen. The download phase. The hurry up and wait phase. How are we feeling though? Like, who's excited? Have your Steam on high priority for Task Manager. Yeah, have your Steam on high priority. It's a big one. It's a big one, as is, a lot of the Arc expansions. Make the map free. Can't do that. Not in charge of the financing stuff for that, or the funding. I don't decide, man. I just make the levels. We make really pretty, fun games. It's a marketing thing. Shides. So we don't have any info regarding console or Windows 10. Regarding Aquatica going to anything. Try like completely closing out of it. Go to your task manager, end the task. and then open it back up, and you should have that. And also, if you want, set your update settings to auto update on Steam. That way, it will just immediately start the download process. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I'll go and I'll pin that message for you guys if you're having issues trying to get it up. So go to your Steam settings, go offline, and then go back online. It seems to have helped. Mikey88, good question. That's hearsay right now. We do have a great relationship with Wildcard. We don't have any information on whether or not going forward that'll happen. How long did the development take? When did we start this project, Coma? I came onto the team in February of this year. So I've been working on it since February. Nope. Aquatica is on Steam only. Why did the center get bigger? No idea. Got any? We don't have any information regarding console or Windows 10 or anything regarding the Windows 10 servers being fixed. Nice Warhammer picture. Thank you. Thank you. We got a couple tabletop models. You guys want to see my Angron model while we wait for this to download? Am I going to go in and show? Yes, absolutely. I'm going to go in and show you around. That is the whole point of this stream. Will you play it? I will play it. We did fix things, yes. We fixed a lot. Here, while we wait, let's get some music. Como, what did we fix? Pretty good person to ask about that. For those of you that are just joining and following, first off, thank you. Welcome to the stream. We are currently installing our update, and we are patiently waiting alongside with you. So, just fair warning, this is a pretty large update for Ark Survival Evolved. So, make sure you have some space cleared up. You're scared of water? It's okay. We have starting islands for you to hang out and enjoy. You can build your base and hang out there, and then whenever you want to, venture down and take as much time as you need to go down in the water. It's for Aquatica only. How is swim speed? Pretty good. Swim speed's pretty nice. Especially for starting out. If you jump into the water right away, your swim speed's pretty nice. I would be very careful. I mean, I'd say, if you want to risk it, go for it. You can jump right into the water in the depths and spawn in the boiling sea or the depths. But if you're going to look for air, it's a very hostile environment. So recommend definitely the starting areas. Oxygen will go down at the normal rate. However, we have incorporated ways for players to replenish their oxygen while underwater through a new feature called Plant Species W. This is a plant that once you swim up next to it, you will replenish your oxygen. As well as we have new oxygen jars, or air jars, excuse me, that allow players to fill them up and have like a quick boost of oxygen if they're in a fight. Like if you're fighting a boss, because some of our bosses are still in water underwater, so you will need something like that as a resource when you're strategizing and planning on fighting them. Yes, you can get seeds for plant species W. You think that the map has good performance? I think so. At the moment, I actually don't have a very like my PC that I'm on, my work PC. I recently had to switch over to my backup graphics card because I had an oopsie and got water on my GPU. It's an ASRock 5700. Still runs pretty well, and it runs pretty smooth with using that compared to what I did have before, which was a Radeon 6900. For the bosses, do you get all tech grams, like a little from each one? Koma, you want to answer that? Ooh, great question from King Riley. What inspired you to design some of the creatures like the mud puppy? Absolutely, it's okay to ask. We like cute. Yeah, pretty much. I wasn't one of the designers on the mud puppy. That would be more for our modeling and art team to answer. So if there's anyone from the art or modeling team watching, by all means, hop on in and answer some of these questions. If you get banned before, the ban list still the same or not? Koma, can you answer that one? Saw earlier. So I'm not sure about that. That might be based off of an entirely different subject category, not related to Aquatica or Steam's launch. I dare you to list all the creatures in Arc Aquatica. I'm so confused right now. That's going to be a team building exercise. I'll get back to you that in the Discord. How about that? Saw a question earlier about the map. Do we keep our characters from official? Do we have to make new characters? Koma, you want to answer that one? Some new OP engrams or tames for PvP. Ooh, good question. That'd be another one for Koma. I'd reach out at Koma. He is our game dev lead on the project. He would have answers for you regarding anything of like the tech content and everything. What's my download speed? Pretty slow right now, given that I'm, on Twitch streaming, so that does take up a lot of bandwidth. Obviously, don't wanna cut the stream off and leave you guys in the dust though, and then because if I do that, well, What would you guys prefer? Would you guys prefer I hang out in here and we just wait it out with everyone else that's taking like 2 hours to install? Or should I end stream, let it download because it'll speed up then, and then once it's done, hop back on stream and just dive right in? What do you guys sound? What sounds good? Don't end stream. Are there... Sorry, hold on. There's like a ton of questions going on here. What was that question earlier? I think I saw something in here. Appreciate you developing the new map. Of course. We had a lot of fun working on this as well, and we hope that players do enjoy the experience once they hop in finally. How do you get speech after playing? I asked permission first off before I even did anything. First thing I did, I asked permission first to see if I could do this, and it was approved. So, but the rest of the team is watching. They are listening, and they will also be hanging out and watching other streams as well, watching players dive in and play. So yeah, should be a fun time. What is the big blue serpent thing? That is the Volcanithus boss. DLC looks very convincing. Thank you. Absolutely, no. And yeah, it's, completely understandable. That's another reason for this stream is for folks who still have questions or, would like to see it, right? Get a preview of it before they dive in and play it themselves. Once I get it updated, I will be playing it, going through it, and having some fun. What's the max level you can get on official Aquatica? Good question. Coma, what is the max level? It is. So it will... Yes. For those of you who do not know, the base price for Arc Aquatica is going to be $14.99. $14.99 USD. It is currently on sale right now. It's 40% off for the next 2 weeks. Take advantage. All right? Take advantage. What is the turtle thing? Turtle thing. What turtle thing? Where'd you see the turtle thing at? Was it in the trailer? In the trailer. Let's pull up the trailer. Let's pull up the trailer. Let's go take a look. Also because the trailer is pretty dope, not gonna lie. Oop, let's pause that. Let me pause my music here real quick, y'all. I just had to play that through for you guys one more time. Okay, let's go back though. To answer your question about the turtle thing, was it the really big one that we just saw there? Is that what we're talking about? Let me go find it here. This guy? This big thing? This right here is what I was talking about earlier. This is the Rift Walker. Someone had asked about the further back. Gotcha. But I just do want to make it clear, this is the Rift Walker. This is one of the Titan-like creatures that you will see spawning around the world of Aquatica. Was it in the dome? Was somebody riding it? It's talking about the turtle with 4 passenger seats. Yeah, the Rift Walker's huge. I mean, you can physically stand on it. How much percent do I have Aquatica downloaded? Let's find out. What's everyone's highest percentage right now? Who's got the highest? I'm at 13. I'm at 10%. 10%. I got 13 gigs of it done. 25. Ooh, someone beat me. 11 to 100. Oh, okay. Well, I lost. I done lost. Let's see. Talking about this guy. They're going to be Desmos on the new map. Coma, question for you. Maybe a question for our Dino crew as well. Had a weird, funky nose. Was it this guy? $123. Oh, this dude? Right here? Nope. Weird, funky nose. 2 seconds before. Oh, this guy. Hold on. Let me get it better. That guy? The turtle? Coma, what's the name of our turtle friend here? Also, who? Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast. Here, I'm going to play it through again for a couple people who are just tuning in as well. That way you guys can see it. If you guys want to get a view of it yourself on your own time off stream, go ahead here. No, don't embed. Buttons. Buttons work for me. Here we go. There we go. Links all around. I'm going to go ahead and let this loop for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and put my recording screen on, give my download a little bit of time to do its thing. While you guys are watching and hanging out, while waiting, go ahead and ask your questions here. Also, I'll be posting Discord links to the Aquatica Discord. You can ask questions there as well. There's other devs and other mods and admins in there. You can share your fan art, your screenshots, base builds. You can promote your servers, recruit for guilds, all sorts of fun stuff. So give me 2 shakes here. Let's go recording screen. Let's crank the volume and let's hit play. Enjoy. Just want to answer a quick question here from somebody. How? What was it? I just saw it. Question: which one is your favorite creature arriving in the new Aquatica map? For me, the Monodon. anytime we would do like a play test or anything with the team, first thing I was doing while exploring and diving around in the shallows was finding a monodon. They're so fun to hop onto without even needing to tame them initially and run around in, do a quick getaway if you're in danger with mobs, and also freaking laser beams out of the nose or the bone, excuse me, or the tooth, excuse me. Words are hard, but come on. All right, I'm gonna play through this one more time, and then we're gonna come back on, and I'll put my camera on for everybody. Nice. Hey, you talking about the Riftwalker? I wasn't listening at the moment, but I hear his name. Yeah, absolutely. I can talk about the Riftwalker. Do you want to see it? I'll pull up. I don't have it on my screen, of course, except for the trailer. But yeah, let me go. That's gonna be a fun one. Yeah, let's pop it up. Let's pop up the Samathua. Ooh, that's another thing too. Speaking of rifts and Rift Walker, that is a feature that we are also introducing to the game. Are Rift events, which you see on my screen now. So in the map, you will have spontaneous events that will occur where essentially a rift will open, not just in the sky above the surface, but also all throughout the map of Aquatica. You will have these rifts, and within these rifts will spawn dinos. And when you kill said group of dinos from the rift, you will then receive a reward. That's another fun little feature that we've also incorporated and included. Let's see here. Rift Walker, where are you at? Come here. There you are. All right, let's talk about this guy, the Rift Walker. What do you want to know about him? What do you want me to talk about? Download is complete, but install is stuck at 0. Try restarting Steam. PC doesn't work. Can't even uninstall. You may be. Oh, what is it? You're doing. Steam might be doing something with the files. What is it? Initializing. Might be initializing the files. Does it say anything underneath the download for initializing? Are all the dupe methods fixed? That would be a question for Coma. Sorry you're having those issues with the download. Gotta love when technology doesn't work, right? Do guns shoot underwater now? Not all of the regulars. So, like the long neck rifle and the pistols, things like that you're familiar with, they do not shoot or work underwater. But we do have a weapon. I'll show it here in the trailer that is available to use. Two weapons, in fact. Well, actually, a couple that are players are allowed to use underwater for ranged combat. So we don't just have things like the trident and other melee weapons. Does each boss have a mini version of it that is rideable? That might be a question for Coma on that one. With any of these questions, if I'm referring you to Coma, he is our game dev lead. He's going to have more insight on that as he, is bounced back and forth between all the departments. I specialize in the level design field, so I worked on the world, the map, placing the foliage, basically, Bob Rossing this. So that's what I did in my time as working on Aquatica. Is there any new engram awarded for defeating the final boss on the map, like unlocking Skiff and Arc Genesis 1? Coma question. I would also tag Coma in your questions as well. That way he can see them. That way it's not just me, because he's in here as well, and he's actively watching, as well as some of the other devs. Surely you do some key giveaways. That is not any sort of information or knowledge that we have. We don't control if we do any giveaways like that. Is it like Extinction Titans, so you can tame them, or just like Fjordur with the mini bosses? Coma question. Okay. I do apologize if you're having that issue right now, Winston. I'm gonna see if maybe anybody on our team can, or if Coma knows a workaround with that. Download finished. Let's go. Let's go. See you in the servers. So I will be making a PvE server, because why play the game by myself when I can play with people in the chat, right? Right? Who wants to hop in a little PvE server? Sorry, PvPers. Sorry, okay. But again, I'm trash at PvP. I admit that. I'm not afraid to admit it. And yeah, I want to be able to allow players to explore the map, and we'll all go have some fun. The entire squad's watching. Hi, squad. Incredible job. You guys are all fantastic. Like, comment, subscribe. I already answered that one, I think. How big is the map? It's big. It's big in a sense of verticality and depth, right? So unlike other Arc maps that you're familiar with, where you can go left, right, forward, backwards, up, and down, well, in some Arc maps you can dive underwater and go. There hasn't really been a sense of depth. While there is, this one takes that to the next level, right? Because the whole point of the player, the objective for the player, is to go down, right? Descend. That's essentially how you see the sheer scale of this map. When you hop in and see it, you'll see what I mean. Vexus, good question. I'm not sure. We do not have any information regarding other ASE content. Sitting at 17%. Do guns shoot underwater? Yeah, that's what I was going to show you guys next. So, where was it? Right here. So this is the Thalassian rifle. All right. This is a weapon that is compatible for engaging targets, players, and mobs underwater. It's a space gun or a water gun. Yeah, you can call it a water gun, basically. Yeah, so Thalassian rifles will be available for you to build, as well as tranquilizer ammunition for the Thalassian rifle. We also have a Thalassian pistol that you can use as well that uses the same ammunition source as well as the same tranquilizer source. Are there PvP focused areas and base spots? So during the development of this, we did our best to incorporate both PvE and PvP into Aquatica. But personally, yes, there are pretty good spots that, in my opinion, will be pretty PvP focused from the player base, just because of a layout, design, the um, and just the pathing, right? Um, yeah. Any chance we will get a fix soon? As now my servers can't start, they just crash on startup. Would like to play the game. That is quite central to be able to have a reason to buy the map. Coma. Alp, tag Coma in this, and you'll be able to get to you on that. Um, Adam, thanks for the question. If you view the pinned comment above the chat log, you will see an answer to that. It's in the Aquatica Discord. It was a statement made by one of the admins. How does Aquatica fit into the ARC law, if at all? Will there be official servers for the release? Yes, there will be official servers for Aquatica's release. And for ARC Aquatica, it is not canon to the main story of ARC in the previous expansions. This is a non canon storyline with it, but it is still ARC. Um, Zavi said you're the best arc dev ever. We collectively. It wasn't just me that worked on this. We have a really awesome team behind Aquatica, a very dedicated, very passionate team. They put a lot into this, and a lot of effort went in collaboratively to make Aquatica, um, given everything that's been going on. So shout out Zavi, shout out our team, Studio Sirens. I'm here to learn about what y'all have been up to, with an open mind. Well, I appreciate that, Shade. Thank you. Right now, I'm waiting on Aquatica to finish downloading. Is this a mix of tech or new type of tech? Are we going to need new resource to craft? And from my understanding, and Coma can assist me with this question. From my understanding, no. Like all of the tech that you will see in Aquatica, you should be able. It'll have similar resources or the same resources that you would to craft anything that's tech in original expansions. Can this dragon fly on the surface, or does it only work underwater? So we do technically have flyers, but they are underwater flyers. Flyers, air quotes, underwater. Call them swimmers, I guess. So no, yeah, they won't fly, on the surface islands. right? The whole point is to, the whole purpose of Aquatica is a world underwater, and so one of the things that limits that, right? The starting islands are meant to be what they are, starting islands. The intent is players to not stay on these islands, right? We want players to progress further down to get the resources they need to then progress their leveling, their dinos, their bases, and through the story. So that's why. Is it just Aquatica? So it is just Aquatica for official servers. Can you speak at all about what happened with the original trailer? So Studio Sirens had no affiliation or involvement with the AI trailer. Um, we had no idea what was happening, basically. Is that shiny Giga tameable or is it a boss? Which shiny Giga? And do we spawn as blue people? No. So you have the choice to spawn, like as you see in the trailer. Um, you have the different skin tones that you can choose from. We do have a aquatic skin tone that you can choose. So that's entirely up to you, though. There are additional options. You don't spawn as blue people. SSL, we do not have any information regarding your question on that. So every 5 minutes, will these star islands be dosed in lava? No, they will not. So the starting islands, you see a volcano there. The volcano events, they don't spew lava on them. They actually drop supply crates. So you'll have an event that happens like an eruption, and the volcano, as it erupts, you'll start to see almost like debris coming out of the volcano. But those are supply drops, and they will drop randomly all across the map, in the water, out of the water. It's a fun little experience. They're really cool to watch. What's my download at? That's a fantastic question. Oh, I'm at 20%. We're crushing it right now, y'all. We're crushing it. I'm very sorry to everyone for the slow download. Reason for my download being so slow is because right now majority of my bandwidth is going to streaming. We're not going to be cutting the stream off because obviously you all have questions, and I want to answer as many questions as possible, especially for those who haven't purchased the expansion or are still contemplating purchasing and picking up the expansion. So any spots for PvP like caves and stuff? Nico, yes. PvP and PvE were both huge factors when going into the design process of Aquatica. And we do have some caves that are more or less built for PvP compared to others, and just other locations in general. Me personally, I'm excited to see the PvP in the shallows. I think that's going to be cool. Can we watch the last trailer? Ask about some dinos in that one. This one that we're watching right now. Let me answer a couple questions and we'll go back to the trailer. With Aquatica not being part of the official ARC law, does it have its own internal law, like with the rifts and such? I would say yes. I would say yes to that question. Coma can back me up on that one. What does the future look like for Studio Sirens and ASE? Is this a one and done, or do you guys think you'll do more if this is successful? Play ASE for 5 years, so it'd be super interesting to me that this is going. It's super interesting to me that this is going on. We don't know what the future holds, honestly. We are still trying to figure out. We've been in the talks of our next IP or what's going forward. I know we are in the talks of at least getting a week one patch out for any like major game breaking bugs and things like that. So we will continue to work on bug fixes for Aquatica for the foreseeable future, or until we're moving on to something else. This game always had great potential in underwater locations, but they were never really developed. It's nice to see you finally focused on that. First off, thank you. Secondly, I agree. I think having a fully developed underwater biome where it's pretty much 99% of it is underwater, that 1% is your starting islands. Not only was this such a unique and different world to create, because from all my projects that I have done, from indie, personal, double A, and triple A, this is the first one that I have done that was completely underwater. So it was interesting to dive into this and think in so many other different ways that aren't as traditional when it comes to level design, especially for this. What about Epic Games Arc? We don't have any information on Epic Games. I think we can use the old characters. That would be a question for Coma. Matter of fact, Coma, if you can do me a favor, can you send me a list of common answers to questions that have been asked here? Because then what I'll do, I'll go put those in the chat, and then I'm going to pin that comment up on the chat log for everyone, and it's going to stay there until the stream ends. So if there's any questions in there that you have that's already been answered, you can quickly go and you can see the response to that question. Any on the development kit update? If you go into the Aquatica Discord, I will go ahead and I will pin that here. Give me 1 second here, guys. I apologize if I'm being slow getting responses. There is a lot going here, but I am quite literally going down the list and trying to answer as much as I can. We appreciate your guys' patience. I appreciate your patience on this. I hope you guys are enjoying your time nonetheless, and I hope that the answers that you've been receiving have been satisfactory. So let me know how I'm doing, please. Seriously, feedback is like my number one thing. I'm going to post this. Oh no. I hit Control C twice. Didn't mean to do that. No, Spotify, go away. All right. There is the Discord link. I'm going to go ahead and pin that at the top. So go ahead and join the Aquatica Discord. You can see all the announcements there as well. Our official servers confirmed. Yes, only for Aquatica. So there is there's standard boss system with artifacts. Yes. Or some of the bosses can be sub in like Fjordur with some tributes. So there are standard bosses with artifacts and obelisks. We do have, I'm going to put in air quotes, world bosses, if you want to say. They're Titan-like creatures, similar to the Riftwalker. There's other Titan-like creatures that will be around the world that you can encounter. Matter of fact, one of them is even in the trailer here. I'll go ahead and I'll show you. Like this guy? Nope, that's not it. That's a snoot. This guy, giant clam. I know that might not seem menacing, but when you get up close to it, it's a rough one. Yeah, so we played around with different ideas for more challenging enemies other than just like the dinos that you're going to see and encounter. World bosses and Titan-like creatures like this and such. Are there aquatic themed dino variants like aberrant dinos? And do they get any buffs like aberrant dinos being immune to radiation? Question for Coma on that one. He can confirm that for you. I have an answer, but I want him to confirm. He'll have that for you. I have a question about general map design in ASE. I'm guessing there's probably rat holes that are going to be found. Are those intentional or do they just happen? By rat holes, if you mean mesh holes, sometimes those just happen because you got to think we are a small team and working on a very large project like this. Any open world project, some things do tend to slip through the cracks. But we do our best. And I remember we had a whole day where we just went around looking for mesh holes and things like that and rat holes to patch up and fix. So, but anybody finds any, submit a bug report. Ping me in the Discord. Let me know. Send a screenshot in the fan art and screenshot. I want to see it. It's probably going to be an area that like I've probably combed over a million times already, and someone's go, "Oh, there's a hole right there." I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'll go back and fix that. That's game dev, though. That's game dev. No matter how perfect you think an area is going to be, there's always going to be something wrong with it that you have to fix. Did Koma hint at something related to the Explorer notes to get a hint of what the next project is to come? Yes, he did. Highly recommend checking out the Explorer notes. That's all I will say on the matter. For the Explorer notes in general, I am very excited to see everyone's thoughts regarding how the Explorer notes are set up and laid out. We did something a little different with these Explorer notes, and I think people who enjoy immersive storytelling are going to really appreciate. Just, I did answer that question for you already. We have no information regarding Epic Games Arc or what's happening there. Gills, that'd be pretty sick. So any statement on any statement, none of the mods work. We get a dev kit in weeks. So in the statement, essentially, if there's any issues, of course, we went into this to prevent any mods from breaking as much as possible, right? Obviously, things change when it comes to launching a game versus when you're developing it, because you can be in development and you can fix something, right? And it's fixed, but then when you launch, sometimes things break on launch. So situations like that, if there is a mod that is breaking or you have a mod that is broken, please report it, submit a bug report. And again, the team will do everything we can to try to find a workaround and a solution for that. So if you guys haven't yet, definitely go to the Discord. I have pinned it to the top of the chat. The Discord does have announcements regarding the dev kit. It has announcements regarding the Windows 10 and Xbox content stuff. Our admins do a pretty good job of making sure things are up to date there. So please go check that out for additional information. Aside from the new weapons, are there new armor sets? No, you're fine. Please, by all means, ask away. Yo, X Gunny, thank you so much for the party of 12. I do appreciate that. So aside from new weapons, are there new armor sets? Yes. So along with the Pearl building set, we do have the Pearl armor set as well as the Thalassian armor set, which I believe we actually showcase here in the trailer. Go ahead and just find that for you. Yep, right here. Leon, if you could please submit a bug report with that, detailing all the issues, which mods, submit that, and then the team will get on that. I posted the Discord link above. It is pinned, so please go submit a bug report there, as well as anybody else that's encountering bugs. Seriously, that's the whole point of this. The whole point is for you to reach out if you have a bug or a crash or an issue. Please report it, and the team will get on it, and we'll get back to work. So. Do the new armors have any funky buffs? That might be a question for Combs or Coma. I don't know why I say Combs. 1 second here. Let's check my update. 25%. Sweet. Has everything been reskinned? There are some things that have been reskinned, such as like the text structures that you see in the shallows, because the reason for that is because of the original text structures, they had more of a, how do I describe it? Much more clean material to them, right? It wasn't something that really made sense in the shallows for what we wanted. Because naturally, if anything that's like of metal, if you look at like a shipwreck or a photo of a shipwreck, right? The Titanic, for example, that's an aesthetic and a style we were trying to mimic in regards to underwater structures and things that are unnatural to an aquatic life. So we did do some changes to the materials on those structures to make them more compatible and fit in with our world. What is my update? I'm currently sitting at 25%. So I am in the trenches just like everyone else in a slow update. Did I ever work on Atlas? Nope. The last major AAA game that I ever worked on in my career was World of Warcraft Dragonflight. Outside of that, I've done a lot of like indie dev, AA, and personal work. Winston, I'm crossing my fingers for you. Like double crossing. Anything related to bug crashes or bug fixes, if you guys need to figure out how to get those set up, please tag Coma and he will help you out with that. Dragonflight was a really good one. That was a lot of fun. I had a blast working on that. I made this really cool. I was an intern when I worked on it, so I didn't get to work on it the entire time, but I got to make a really cool like proto drake nest in the Onaran Plains. It was a lot of fun. How long am I going to stream today? Hey, are we back? We back. We back. Oh, it wasn't me. I thought it was me. Give me 2 seconds here, y'all. Yeah, hey, who tripped over my plug? Who stepped on my Ethernet cable? Stop it. Okay, I need that. It's important. How long that was that honestly, somebody clip that, make that a meme. That'd be amazing. Hopefully it didn't mess up your download. No, I don't think it is. I think it's just because I'm trying to download and then my bandwidth is also trying to compete with streaming. So let's see, what am I sitting at right now? Hey, Melted Jedi, hello. Just finished re-downloading the whole game again. Usage again of downloading, but installing files is still in process. Stream says 0 bits a file. That's love the gameplay experience of the Steam download. Yeah, I do apologize about that. I don't. That is definitely a Steam issue. Loop tube IO, so it doesn't have to replay manually. Ooh, that's a good one. Good idea. Hmm. Guys, give me 1 second here. I'm going to briefly end my stream. I'm gonna turn it off, turn it back on. I need to I'm gonna do a quick refresh. Okay, I'm getting some unstable bit rates on here, but I will be right back. All right, so don't go anywhere. I promise I will be back. All right, in 3, 2, 1.